Hi, my name is Miss Colon, and I am an middle school ELL MLL video content specialist. This is a student-facing video that will be focusing on what factors led to U.S. imperialism. Okay. Today's objective is to evaluate perspectives regarding United States imperialism beyond the Pacific Ocean and the contiguous United States and compare and contrast these efforts through primary source analysis. The way that we're going to compare and contrast is by looking at the efforts that are in favor of imperialism, right, or approving of imperialism, or against imperialism, or not approving. Okay, so it is expected that by now you understand what foreign policy is and what imperialism is. So if we take a look here, we see on this map that in Alaska and Hawaii, you have Alaska is purchased from Russia and it eventually becomes a state. For Hawaii, Hawaii is annexed and then it is admitted as a state. When we purchase something, we're buying it, right? And if, for example, if I go to the grocery store and I pay $1 for a chocolate bar, I get a chocolate bar. And here you can see that annexed means taken or added to. Right? And here's a Russian translation for those of you who speak Russian as a home language, right? And for our Spanish speakers, annex can be taken or added, right? Algo que fue añadido a los Estados Unidos. There is a document set activity that we're going to do together. We're going to begin with document 1, but before we do document 1, let's do a KWL chart, okay? So, first and foremost, what do you think you already know about this topic? Well, we already know what imperialism is, right? And we know what foreign policy is. Something that we need to focus on is anti-imperialism. First of all, what is imperialism? Who remembers? Okay, let's take a look here. Oh, let me stop annotating. Mouse. Let's go to vocabulary.com and type in imperialism. So it's, of course, it's the way that you can expand, right? A policy of extending your rule or power over foreign countries or places in the world, right? So if we go back to our KWL chart, we can add that for imperialism. Whoops. Why did this become so big? Well, let's clear that. That's definitely something that you can add for imperialism. Okay, and so anti-imperialism would be the opposite. Okay, so here in our annotations, we can put imperialism, foreign policy, and anti-imperialism. Anti. Do you think that's going to be in favor or against? Very good, against imperialism, right? And we already learned the word annex, which means to add, right? And as we already discussed, imperialism is, oops, I just need the mouse here, a policy of extending your rule over foreign countries. Foreign countries or territories or you know. So let's add that here. right? That's for imperialism. I'm just going to use a different color since that's a definition. That's for imperialism, okay? So that's simply what you want to know. That's for imperialism right there, okay? And what do you wonder? Okay, take a minute. What do you wonder? What do you wonder? Maybe how were Alaska and Hawaii added, right? Or how were they taken? How were Alaska and Hawaii taken by the United States? How did that happen, right? And then at the end of this lesson, you should be able to fill this out. And of course, you can add more to this and more to the know, whatever else you know, right? But we can start with those. Okay, just gonna clear this. Now back to the unit. Here you have document set 1, and on Teach Hub, you can, of course, you have access to your student workbooks, which are available in your different home languages, right? So for example, you can access it in English and maybe Spanish, Russian, whatever you want. But here they are. They're all available to you, okay? And of course, perfect for you to understand. You can use it side by side with the English and read on as we go, right? Something to pay close attention to the words that are bolded here. Maybe you might not know what enthusiastic or prospects are, but you can use context clues to form meaning around this. So it says in 1866, the Russian government offered to sell the territory of Alaska to the United States. Okay. Secretary of State William H. Seward, enthusiastic about the prospects of American expansion, negotiated the deal for the Americans. Okay. So we know from the map, right? Based on the map, we know Alaska was purchased. So we bought it, right? And here it said that this person, William H. Seward, negotiated the deal for Americans. Okay. Then this man, it says here, Russian minister to the US, negotiated for the Russians. On March 30, 1867, the two parties agreed, said yes, that the United States would pay Russia 7.2. So what does this mean? Does this tell you that they wanted to buy Alaska or that they did not want to buy it? Very good. They wanted to buy it. So we're going to highlight it in green because that's good. They wanted to buy it, right? And that's something we can add here that is in support of the purchase of Alaska. There was a negotiation and an agreement, right? So this is we can highlight that in green. So let's see what enthusiastic. So William H. Seward was enthusiastic about the prospects of American expansion. So was he in favor or against American expansion or imperialism? In favor, right? In favor based on the context. Very good. So enthusiastic means that maybe he was happy, right? According to what you guys are saying. So here, let's see what enthusiastic means. Vocabulary.com. Ah, the appreciation for something. You're loving it, right? You are loving it. So definitely a positive here. So this is good. And prospect is means this. Let's use vocabulary.com. What is a prospect? The possibility of getting something. I hope that this helped you, and as you continue to annotate, make sure to reference your work here. What was in support, in favor, in agreement, and what was against or opposed, not in favor or agreement to the purchase of Alaska. So far, we know that this is in agreement, right? This background information here. Okay? Thank you so much for tuning in.